Picture this. You're one decision away from turning your biggest struggles into your greatest wins. Sounds impossible, right? Maybe even a little too good to be true. But what if I told you an ancient philosophy over 2,000 years old holds the key to staying calm, confident, and in control no matter what life throws at you? Welcome to Stoicism, the ultimate mindset hack for thriving in chaos, not just surviving it. Today we're diving deep, really deep, into how you can train your mind to respond, not react, and trust me, by the end of this video, you'll walk away with a toolkit to transform your life, one choice at a time. This isn't just about slapping a band-aid on stress. It's about rewriting how you show up in the world. So hit that like button if you're ready to level up, and let's get started. Think back to the last time life tested you, really put you through the ringer. Maybe your boss snapped at you during a meeting over something trivial, like a typo in a report you spent hours on. Or maybe traffic made you late for an appointment you couldn't miss, and you sat there fuming behind the wheel. Or perhaps someone, a friend, a stranger, even a random commenter online, said something that hit you right in the gut, something that made your blood boil. What did you do? Did you snap back with a sarcastic comeback you later regretted? Did you stew in frustration for hours, replaying it in your head? Or maybe you just sat there, wishing you'd handled it better, feeling that pang of "I'm smarter than this." We've all been there. Those knee-jerk reactions that leave us stressed out, regretful, or stuck in a cycle of "Why can't I stop doing this?" I've had my moments, like the time I yelled at my Wi-Fi router because it dropped during a huge Zoom call with my team. Spoiler alert, it didn't fix the connection, but it sure made me feel ridiculous after. Or that time my roommate ate my leftovers, my labeled leftovers, and I passive-aggressively slammed dishes around instead of just talking it out. Sound familiar? But here's the game changer, the light bulb moment. What if you could hit pause, take control, and choose a response that actually feels good? One that reflects the real you, the you who's wise, steady, and strong, not just the heat of the moment mess. That's the promise of Stoicism, and it's not some dusty old theory sitting in a textbook. It's a practical, life-altering tool that's as relevant in 2025 as it was in ancient Rome. That's where Stoicism swoops in like a superhero, and let's be real, we could all use a cape sometimes, especially in a world that feels like it's spinning faster every day. These ancient philosophers, think Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor scribbling profound wisdom in his tent between brutal battles, Seneca, the advisor who faced exile and political backstabbing with grace, Epictetus, a former slave who turned his chains into a classroom for life lessons. They figured out something brilliant. We can't control the crazy world around us. Rude people cutting in line at the coffee shop, bad weather ruining your weekend camping trip, unexpected setbacks like a flat tire on your way to work, a flight cancellation that strands you in a random airport, or even that co-worker who keeps stealing your stapler. We've all got our stories, right? Life's messy, unpredictable, and sometimes downright unfair. But here's the kicker, the golden nugget of Stoic wisdom. We can control how we respond. Their secret? It's all about mastering that tiny space, that split-second gap between what happens to you and what you do about it. Imagine this. You're driving home after a long day, and some guy swerves in front of you, nearly clipping your bumper. Your heart races, your hands grip the wheel. Instinct screams, honk the horn, curse him out, maybe even tailgate him to prove a point. Your adrenaline's pumping, your mind's racing with, who does this guy think he is? But instead you take a slow, deliberate breath, shrug it off, and keep your cool. Maybe you even laugh. Well, someone's in a hurry. That's not weakness, that's power. Stoicism isn't about bottling up emotions or pretending you're some emotionless robot who doesn't care. It's about owning them, digging into where they're coming from, like, okay, I'm mad because I feel disrespected, or I'm anxious because this feels out of my hands. and then choosing what's smart over what's impulsive. It's like being the director of your own movie instead of an extra who just reacts to every wild plot twist the script throws at you. And the best part, you don't need a toga or a time machine to make it work. This is for us, right now. So now, why should you care about this? Why spend your precious YouTube scrolling time on some old Greek and Roman dudes? Because reacting on autopilot is a one-way ticket to Stress City, strained relationships, dumb decisions you can't undo, and that sinking feeling of, why did I do that? Think about it. How many arguments escalate because you fired off a snarky reply without thinking? Like that time you and your sibling got into it over who was supposed to call mom, and suddenly, you're yelling about stuff from 5 years ago? Or how many nights have you lost sleep replaying something you wish you'd said differently? I've been there, like the time I snapped at a friend over a cancelled plan, only to find out later they were dealing with a family emergency. If I'd paused, asked a question, I'd have been a support instead of a jerk adding to their load, but responding. That's freedom. It's staying calm when everyone else is losing it, like at a family dinner when the political debates start flying and Uncle Bob's shouting about something he saw on X. You don't take the bait. You sip your water and steer the convo somewhere. Sane. It's being the person others look to and think, how do they stay so grounded? This isn't just about inner peace, though that's a sweet bonus. It's about becoming tougher, sharper, and honestly a better human. You start showing up as someone who doesn't just survive chaos, but thrives in it, like a rock in a storm. And in a world that's non-stop madness, think 2025 vibes with AI drama, climate curveballs, viral trends that make no sense, and a news cycle that's basically a roller coaster. This skill is pure gold. It's not just a nice to have. It's a must-have if you want to keep your sanity and make a dent in the universe. So how do you actually do this? How do you go from, I'm about to lose it, to, I've got this, when the pressure's on? Let's break it down with some Stoic-inspired tricks you can start using today. Real practical stuff you can test drive in your own life. First up, the pause button. Next time you feel that emotional surge, someone's yelling at you over a misunderstanding, your plans just imploded because your kid's school called with an emergency, your cat knocked your coffee onto your laptop, stop. Take one deep breath, that's it. Just one. Marcus Aurelius called this the space to choose, that fleeting moment where you get to decide who's in charge, your impulses or your wiser self. It's like giving your brain a timeout to think, okay, what's my next move here? It's not about ignoring the mess, it's about stepping back so you don't make it worse. I tried this last week when my coworker dropped a passive-aggressive comment in a meeting. Oh, nice of you to finally join us. Old me would have clapped back with something petty. New me? I breathed, smiled and said, yeah, traffic. Was wild, what did I miss? Tension dissolved and I looked like the grown-up in the room. Second trick, reframe the chaos. The Stoics were absolute masters at flipping the script. Stuck in a soul-crushing meeting that won't end, with your boss droning on about metrics you don't even care about? Don't see it as torture. See it as a chance to practice patience, or maybe even spot a hidden opportunity, like brainstorming your next big idea while everyone else nods off. Shift the story in your head, and the stress loses its grip. I once got stranded at an airport for 6 hours. Flight delayed, no updates, chaos everywhere. Miserable, right? But I reframed it as a mini vacation. Grabbed a coffee, found a cozy corner, read a book I'd been meaning to crack open, even people watched like it was a sport. It wasn't perfect, but it beat fuming at the gate agent who didn't deserve my wrath. Third trick, control what you can and let the rest go. Here's a Stoic classic that hits hard. Focus only on what's in your power, your thoughts, your actions, your attitude, and release the rest like it's hot garbage. Raining on your big outdoor party you've planned for weeks. You can't stop the clouds, but you can rock an umbrella. Move the snacks indoors, crank the music, and keep the vibes high. My neighbor's dog barks non-stop, every morning like clockwork, driving me up the wall. I can't muzzle it, and I'm not about to start a feud. What I can do, pop in earbuds, play some chill tunes, and reclaim my sanity. It's not about giving up. It's about picking your battles wisely. Fourth trick, reflect like a pro. End your day like a stoic boss. Ask yourself, where did I nail it today? Where did I slip into reaction mode and let my lizard brain take over? Journal it if you're into writing, scribble a few lines, or just think it over while you brush your teeth. Tweak it, grow from it. It's like a daily upgrade for your mind, a little check-in with yourself. I started doing this a month ago, 5 minutes before bed, and it's wild how much clearer I see my patterns. Like, I noticed I always react fast when I'm hungry. Hangry. Me is not stoic me. Now I keep a snack handy and it's a game changer. Fifth trick, mindfulness on the fly. You don't need a yoga mat, a guru, or an hour of silence for this. Eating lunch? Notice the flavors. Salty fries, sweet ketchup, the crunch of a pickle. Walking to your car after a long day. Feel the ground under your feet, the breeze on your face, the jingle of your keys. This keeps you present, so when the big stuff hits, like a deadline crunch at work, a family blowout over who's hosting Thanksgiving, or your toddler drawing on the walls, you're already anchored, not flailing around like a headless chicken. I tried this during a stressful grocery run last weekend, focused on the cart's squeaky wheels, the cold milk jug in my hand, the smell of fresh bread, and it turned a chaotic chore into a weirdly zen moment. Little wins add up. Imagine putting all this into action, really living it, not just nodding along. You're in a heated argument with your partner. Instead of yelling about who forgot to take out the trash for the 3rd time this week, you pause, listen, and respond. With clarity, I get why you're upset. Let's figure this out together. Or a curveball derails your week. Your car breaks down on the highway, your bank account's crying because the repair bill's brutal. Rather than spiraling into, why me, why now, you reframe it. This sucks, no doubt, but it's a chance to problem solve, get tougher, maybe even learn how to change a tire. Roll with it. This isn't just theory, it's a lifestyle, a way of being that rewires how you move through the world. You'll feel calmer, like that deep breath after a long day, calm that settles into your bones. Your relationships will level up. Friends, notice you're less snappy. Co-workers see you as the steady one. Even that grumpy cashier at the gas station might crack a smile because you didn't bark back. And you'll handle setbacks like a champ. Think less panic, more, I've got a plan, let's do this. The Stoics didn't mess around. They lived this stuff through some of history's gnarliest moments. Marcus Aurelius ran an empire. While dodging plagues, rebellions, and betrayals from his own circle, yet he still wrote about keeping his cool in his journal, stuff we now call meditations. Seneca faced death threats from a paranoid emperor and kept his dignity, even penning letters about living well under pressure. Epictetus went from literal chains as a slave to changing lives with his words, teaching that freedom starts in your mind. If it worked for them in their brutal, no-filter world, it can absolutely work for us in 2025, whether it's dodging trolls online, juggling work-from-home chaos with kids or pets in the background, or just trying to keep our sanity in a news cycle that's basically a 24/7 roller coaster of what now. But let's get real. This takes practice and you won't nail it every time. The Stoics weren't perfect either. They were just relentless about getting better, day by day. Start small. Next time your phone pings with an annoying text, maybe your group chat's blowing up over some petty drama like who flaked on trivia night. Don't fire off a rant. Pause. Breathe. Decide if it's worth your energy or if you're better off muting it and moving on. Or when your morning goes sideways, coffee spills on your shirt, alarm didn't go off, you're late for everything, reframe it. This is my Stoic training ground, my personal boot camp for staying cool. The more you do it, the more natural it gets, like muscle memory for your mind. And the payoff? It's huge, life-changing huge. You're not just dodging stress, you're building a life where you're in the driver's seat, not a passenger getting tossed around. You start seeing challenges as chances to flex your mental muscle to prove what you're made of. Like the other day, my internet crashed mid-project. Old me would have raged, maybe chucked the router out the window. New me? Paused, grabbed a snack, worked offline till it fixed itself. Small win, massive vibe shift. Or take my buddy Jake. He used to blow up at his team over missed deadlines. After trying this pause and respond thing, he started asking questions. Instead, what's holding us up? How can I help? Now his team respects him, not fears him. This is about crafting a version of you that's unshakable, not because life stops throwing punches, but because you've learned how to roll with them, dodge when you can, and hit back smarter. It's not about being invincible. It's about being adaptable, resilient, the kind of person who can face a storm and still plant seeds for tomorrow. So here's your challenge, your call to action, your Stoic mission if you choose to accept it. Try one of these strategies today. Hit pause when you're ticked off. Reframe something annoying into a mini adventure. Control what you can and let the rest slide. Reflect tonight on your wins and slip-ups or get mindful for 5 minutes. Whatever clicks for you. Then drop a comment below and tell me how it went. I'm reading every single one, and I want to hear your story, no matter how small it feels. Did you stay cool when your coworker got snippy over nothing? Did you reframe a rainy day into something epic, like a cozy movie marathon? Did you catch yourself mid-reaction and turn it around? Let's swap wins. I'm here for it. If you vibed with this, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell, because we're diving deeper into living wisely and grit next time. More Stoic hacks, more real talk ways to level up your life, maybe even some stories from you guys if you share them. Check out the videos on screen for extra mind-blowing Stoic goodness, like how to use this stuff at work with your family, or when the world feels like it's falling apart. And until then, keep choosing calm over chaos. You've got this. See you in the next one.